rolling data to enable the early evaluation of data as it comes to hand. So I'm not sure why Nicola feels it's okay to lie to us. Rolling data. How about in the month of October, we had 852 cases of myocarditis and pericarditis in this country. These are household names now. The very same logic that is used to justifying locking down an entire state under the premise that it saves just one life should apply to informed consent and mandating of vaccines. Where there is risk, there must be choice. This is hard to do when the likes of APRA have muzzled our weak doctors. Mark Hobart had his office raided and his patient records confiscated. Mark is a hero. Are you aware the TGA approved the Chinese and Indian vaccines, both protein-based? They're not available in our own country, including Nicholas Petrovsky's COVAX-19 vaccine. However, our government is allowing this so students can return to Australia and also for replacement workers. Yes, replacements for the likes of Kylie and the other girls. How bloody outrageous. Now they come for our babies, our children, our future generation. Look at data anywhere from the world. Kids are virtually unharmed from COVID, yet they make up the majority of cases. The stats are all there to see. They will put you in a never-ending cycle of boosters and holding your freedom as ransom if you don't comply. Does that sound like freedom?
No! Investigate DCP! Investigate DCP!
Now, I've worked with the COVID Medical Network for the past 4 months, and you know, I shouldn't mention the dreaded word ivermectin ever again, but if you have someone you love, I want to tell you today, if they're elderly or they're vulnerable, whether they're vaccinated or not, please ask them to have vitamin D levels tested. I'm in contact with Professor Ian Brighthoe, a nutritional-based doctor and a legend within the industry worldwide. And Ian says the goal is to lift your vitamin D levels to between 120 and 150 nanomoles per liter. This doesn't happen overnight, so supplementing with 5,000 IUs per day will take some time for your body to absorb. But research shows that vitamins C, D, zinc, and quercetin are so important to a healthy immune system. Ask why this message has not been repeated over and over on our televisions at night instead of non-stop fear. You know, you may feel scared because it seems like the power is with them, but the power is with us. It always has been. And this ends when we say no. If great numbers of nurses and doctors, police, fire, and teachers say no, the government would have no option but to roll back these hideous mandates. You know, all of us here come from all walks of life. I believe in God, but whatever your belief, we are the light and they are darkness. Pray that your fellow citizens will awaken from this spell and they will see that the way we have been divided and the actions of our government are just wrong. I don't want to go back to the way it was. I want to go back to when communities meant something. A time when your neighbor needed a hand, you were there. Let's become a nation where we look after one another. I've been trialing random acts of kindness. You know what? I gotta say it's powerful and I rather like it. In closing, let's have a kumbaya moment. Please look around you, shake someone's hand. If you feel comfortable, go ahead and give them a hug. But we all need the warmth of human fellowship more than ever. Mad respect and big love.
Well, thank you, Alan. Now, just an update. I've just been speaking with my SAPOL contact, and just with regards to the march, we've got a couple of more speeches before we hit the road and show Adelaide CBD our passion for our freedom. And because this crowd is so absolutely brilliantly enormous, SAPOL are blocking off both sides of the street. Oh no, anybody else got the shivers? I got the shivers just then. I still have. We will march as usual from the corner. We're going to have two more speeches and then a rallying cry from Michelle. Right now, we have Mike, and Mike has been corresponding with me. He's a passionate man. He's been doing loads of research. He needs to share his message about what's going on and how we need to protect our children. Come on, Mike.
Hi, I'm here because the media isn't. They prostituted themselves out a long time ago to the big pharmaceutical industry and big business. If they were to tell even 1% of the truth on TV, there'd be 100,000 people here, not 10,000. Now, I've compressed a year's work into 5 minutes because we all want to get going into the march, and I've got the boss standing here pushing me along. I wrote, under the Freedom of Information Act, I wrote to the South Australian Department of Health asking for evidence for the SARS-CoV-2 virus, which they've mandated and brought in draconian laws because they have evidence of that. Well, I got a response back just recently, and their response is, it doesn't exist, they don't have it. Anybody can come here and take a photo of this. It's signed by Stephen Wade, the Minister of Health and Wellbeing. Yep. So, moving on, I also wrote to them No, there's not. Well, they don't have evidence of it, okay? Yeah, okay. Okay, the other one is the PCR, the polymerase chain reaction. They use that to lock down, to call anybody that they deem a case. So they make it up as they go along. The polymerase chain reaction, or the PCR, is not a diagnostic tool. We all know that. 1,000 scientists have come out and disputed it and said it can't tell if you're ill, let alone detect the virus or what type of virus you might have, if anything. And if they turn it up above 25 cycles, it gives you 100% false positive. The letter here from the Minister for Health and Wellbeing, Stephen Wade again, said they use it at 40 cycles. Not 25, 40 cycles. It ramps it up hundreds of millions of times, and they will find something from nothing. So this is all fraudulent. Okay, so now I'm going to go into a couple of documents which, because these vaccines came out under the emergency use authorisation, they were fast-tracked in 6 months when normally vaccines take up to 10 years, and 80% of them are never put on the market because they're too dangerous.
Oh, wait. Yeah, just stay here.
Oh, and by the way, anybody wearing those blue masks from China, Canada's Health Department, in a statement, media statement in March 2021, said that they conducted preliminary risk assessments which revealed a potential for early lung damage associated with inhalation of microscopic graphene particles. Graphene oxide, they made our children at high school wear them for 3 months. And so I did a bit of a letterbox dropping up the northeast for 2 of those months, accusing the government of a whole range of things which are all scientifically backed. And that's probably why I haven't gone to court or been dragged to court. All right, just bear with me for a sec. Okay. All right, the children, to get EUA approval, on June the 10th, Pfizer gave a document to the FDA, and it wasn't released to the public, in which they admit that an adequately powered clinical endpoint efficacy trial with sufficient case accrual across paediatric age groups may be very difficult, if not feasible, to conduct. What that means is it is clinically and statistically impossible to create a vaccine that will be more effective than a child's natural immune system. Yep. Okay. This one was also given to the FDA, in which the study proves that cases of myocarditis have been reported since the approval. In this small case study, myocarditis was diagnosed in children after coronavirus injections, most commonly in boys after the second dose. The long-term risk associated with post-vaccination in myocarditis remain unknown. And I'm getting pushed. I'm just going to go past a couple of these, and I want to go to one of the most critical documents which I've got here, which I just ran past. Hang on, just bear with me. All right, here it is. This is the Pfizer's package insert. This is the ingredients that they have, and this was given to the FDA as part of their emergency use authorisation approval. And it's a fairly large document, but in 5.2, myocarditis and pericarditis data shows increased risk of heart damage within 7 days following the second dose. This is in 12 to 17-year-olds. Risk is higher in males over 40 and highest in males 12 to 17. We're seeing thousands. I went to the Ashford Hospital under the pretext of a heart problem this week, and the nurse told me they're seeing large numbers of young boys and men that they're testing. They've never seen it before. And I'm just about to finish up. Lactation. This is from Pfizer's own document. It is not known whether spike protein is excreted in human milk. Data is not available to assess the effects of the vax on the breastfed infant or on milk production excretion. Then we go to section 13.1. Pfizer has not, and just remember, this is going to be injected into the 5 to 11-year-olds in the new year. So 13.1, Pfizer has not, and this is talking to the FDA now, which they covered all this up, Pfizer has not been evaluated for the potential to cause cancer, mutation or impairment of male fertility. In other words, they're sterilising our children. To everybody you can. You've got to organise yourself because there's an election. Do it before the election. Write whatever you want. use evidence, use medical and data-based evidence, put it on there, put some links on there, but make it one page, letterbox drop it, warn everybody, because this is the last chance we've got before they sterilise and kill our children. Thank you.
Thank you, Mike. Wow. Now it's totally alarming, it's totally experimental, it is going to affect the fertility and the well-being of future generations, and we need to do something. We will share Mike's research and his actions through Adelaide Freedom Rally. We are adelaidefreedomrally.com. We have a subscription button on our website. We communicate through our email list. There are people walking around with some iPads to help people to sign up if you're not already signed up. But this is very important, and we do need to hit the streets to protect our children. It needs to be a huge campaign. Two things I'm going to bring to your attention quickly. Somebody's lost a credit card. I won't read out the name. But if you know that you're missing a credit card, that's now in my back pocket. And over here to the right, there are some solicitors, Woodburn and Co solicitors, Old Port Chambers. Together, they're hoping to obtain 10,000 signatures on a petition to revoke the declaration of a major emergency made on March 22, 2020. So if you go over and see them, they're over near this vehicle over here, then they will have petitions there for you to sign. So we have now, nobody's claimed the glasses yet. Any lost property, if you've lost anything, come up to the marquee at the end of the day. Now we're moving on to Kathy. Kathy's someone who's gone a little bit viral crazy around the world with her passion for this cause. Over to you.
Hi Adelaide, Greater Adelaide and country South Australia. Welcome. Welcome vaccinated and unvaccinated. There is no discrimination here. Thank you for coming to our Adelaide World Freedom Rally. My name is Kathy, and it is a great privilege to be standing here in front of such dedicated, honourable and proud South Australians. I would like you all to please remember this moment, not only in the history of our beautiful state, but to also acknowledge being in the present moment. And know you are not alone in this tyrannical madness. We are all aware this tyranny is occurring across the majority of the world, but that does not make us feel any better. In fact, it may make us feel more defeated and insignificant. I am here to help you realise that these feelings are normal when such stressors are impacting our lives in such a formidable way. Employees of some larger service industry organisations, healthcare workers including allied health, admin, orderlies, cleaners, tradie subcontractors, disability workers, teachers and education providers alike across many sectors have been mandated to have the COVID-19 injections. These are obviously still very much in the early trial phases. That's right. Mandate means request, actually. All the sectors of employment mentioned total thousands of employees in employment limbo currently in South Australia. Absolutely. I urge you to research the Red Union, redunion.com.au. The Red Union is very well known in the eastern states and is rapidly gaining traction in South Australia. This union is apolitical, meaning no party political affiliation, unlike every other union in this country. On behalf of the Red Union, I personally apologise for an email that was sent out this week. Please ignore it. That came from a very frustrated and industrial law lawyer, okay? Those of you who are Red Union members already will know what I'm talking about. Just hold the line, please. The Red Union next year will be bringing all the SA memberships now based in Queensland here to Adelaide, where members will have local contact and actually see faces. The Red Union Constitution does not allow members' funds to go towards party political means at all. It doesn't happen. I would not be involved if it was. I just wouldn't. It is more important than ever to find that true Aussie spirit. The Aussie spirit inside us has been crushed for the past 20 plus months. It appears that a federal election may be looming sooner rather than later. It may be actually within weeks. We must align ourselves with the principles and values that are most important to us and which will benefit not only ourselves and our families, but our whole South Australian community at large. Indeed, the entire Australian community. We must have our best interests for our country. This is our country and we are claiming it back. I personally choose freedom. I will be aligning myself with a political party that emphasises the word freedom. Make up your own minds who that is. When you go to vote, take a pen. Take a pen with you. Do not use the pencil. They can rub it out. Use your brains. We've got this. We need a political party that has a strategic plan to rid of 3/4 of the ridiculous bureaucracy that happens in this country. Exorbitant salaries of corporation executives. And who are we being run by at the moment? A corporation. We do not even have a government. No one is governing anything. It's ridiculous. And what a great crowd. I am so proud. Thank you for coming out. Last of all, may God bless Australia.
Thank you, Kathleen. A reminder: this is our last speaker, Michelle, coming up. She's gonna rev us up a bit, and then we'll be heading to the corner of the park for that joyous march around the city celebrating our freedom. A reminder: if you can come back to the park, there are significant pieces of information and actions to share with everybody. There are more people wanting to speak. Let me tell you, I've been contacted by enough musicians and speakers to run a 3-day festival. We might just have to link up with the borderers and make that happen sometime soon. So now we have for you Michelle Williams. Michelle contacted me with a very powerful speech and I had to say, please bring it on, Michelle.
Well done, each and every one of you legends, for making it here today to the Adelaide Freedom Rally to proclaim your freedom! What do we want? I can't hear you! What do we want? Yes, we want freedom. But what does that look like? What does freedom look like? What does freedom feel like? We know what we don't want. Let's take our focus off that for a moment and focus on that which we do want. We need to balance our focus and be sure to always keep our eyes on the prize. Thoughts become things. What does freedom look like to you? Can you picture it in your mind's eye? That one joyous moment that defines your blissful, free existence. Since the first time we were told to stay home, I had a vision of community all coming together, sharing produce, knowledge, skills, living among like-minded people I love, waking up every day and doing whatever I want with whomever I want. I see clean, pristine waters, drinking from natural springs, which even flow through the pipes of our homes. Clear blue sky with natural clouds. Organic produce as the norm. Grown and shared freely. People all supporting each other. People getting enough sleep. Natural healing freely available, and technologies released to make life so much easier. Free to enjoy as much time as we like with family and friends, free to follow our pursuits or volunteer in the community, freedom to choose what's right for me. Everyone has free choice, and in my vision, our communities are simply represented fairly. The one moment I like to envision is being together with my community like this, in blissful existence around a huge bonfire in the middle of our circle of houses. We don't need physical communes to do this though. We're here now. Look around you. This is our community. This is our tribe. Be sure to meet some new friends together. We're creating our freedom. What is the blissful moment that defines your freedom? Keep it in your heart. Okay. All right. We're not scared by the plans we hear. Born for this, we have no fear. We've got love and unity. Support from our community. We were born free and we remain free. Freedom warriors, unite! Over to Kathy for some instructions.
All right, you're coming. Braveheart's shown up, you beauty. Big shout out to Matt from Signs Down the Street over to the right. And we've got more announcements to come, so please bear that in mind. Thank you, beautiful people. We are going to do an epic march now. The police have blocked off the entire street. They've done an OH&S assessment and they want you to be aware there's a crane in the middle of Grenfell Street, so please steer clear of the crane. Let's make noise. Let's make noise. Let's have fun. Let's celebrate freedom. Over to Braveheart. Braveheart. Not Braveheart. 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 What do you go for? Braveheart.
First of all, thank you for all you Bravehearts for coming out today to fight for what? What do we want? As did William Wallace, I see a whole army of my countrymen and women here in defiance of tyranny. You You've come out to fight as free men and women, and free you are. And what will you do without freedom? You'll be slaves and dying in your beds from days and weeks and months from now. So, will you fight? Will you fight for one chance, just one chance, to come back here and tell our enemies, the tyrannic government, we will vote them out of politics? Then we, the people, will criminally charge them and put them on trial for tyranny. Fight! Fight that they may take our lives, but they never take our freedom! My friends, brothers and sisters, a few weeks ago the government changed the rules on independent political parties. They now changed it that 500 is not enough. You must have 1,500 registered members. I encourage you to vote independent. One particular party was knocked out recently. Trumpet of Patriots, go online and join them. They need 900 members. trumpetofpatriots.com/membership and sign up. They're the only political party is run by the people, not political career. I'm finishing off. Okay. Yeah. Okay. Never give up. Never ever give up. Okay, vote independent. We're going.
Get to the corner, people. We need to march.
Aussie, Aussie, Aussie! Aussie, Aussie, Aussie! 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 Aussie, Aussie, Aussie!
I just want to let everyone know that Jesus Christ is Lord.
Hallelujah! Jesus is Lord. Repent, Adelaide.
So guys, Jesus is Lord. Woo!
Freedom is being allowed to choose what you want. It doesn't matter if you want a Big Mac or a Hungry Jack's, whether you want to be vaxxed or not vaxxed. You should have that freedom of choice.
Freedom!
Freedom!
There you go, guys. That's William Wallace for you, mate. You guys get that?
Should have given a brown eye for ScoMo, mate. I want the orange button.
Where they sell shirts and whatever, we're one for
We did like. Oh, exactly. But we need like about 1,000 more. That's what we need, new drums. New drums. You know what I mean? No, exactly. This has to make a huge impact.
I tried to bring the
No, no way. I'm on YouTube. South Australia Community Watch. It's live streaming. I'm saving video as well.
You're doing awesome. Get the numbers right.
I've only got like 420 subscribers, so the
Okay.
live stream's limited.
Oh, okay, we're on live stream. What was it again?
South Australia Community Watch. It'll save up. It'll save. Like my father and I were arrested at Savers because we didn't want to sign in, and the cops were called. So.
That's right. Back up for the town government. You're the Australian corporation and you've sold us out. Our taxes have funded you and you've destroyed our nation. Get out! Get out of our country! Get out of our nation! Garden nation! Get out of Garden nation! Who's got a fucking voice here? Stop me!
Thanks for the comment, guys. I'm not reading them because I'm walking. I can't check them and I can't reply, but I appreciate everybody watching and commenting. Thank you. Thank you for the support from me and my father as well. Thank you so much for everything, guys. Keep your eyes peeled. Keep watching. Comment, like, subscribe. Thank you very much, guys. I'm filming with another camera, so that's why it's not so steady. I got a gimbal. I would have been using it with this, but I'm using it with an action camera. So bear with that. But hopefully we'll continue streaming and we'll get some good footage. I'm going to show you some of the sights of Adelaide. Show you some of the people around. So much support from everybody. At least half of that. Please bear with me, guys. I'm just going to swap the battery in my action camera because I need to continue filming in that. That's in 4K. I'm just going to put the phone down just for a moment. I'll get back to y'all. DJI, it's better quality. Oh yeah. Good luck, man. All right, I'll get back to you guys in a second. All right, we're going. The views on this are limited because I didn't get 1,000 subscribers yet, but please like if you can. Please leave a comment. I'll get back to the comments as soon as I have a chance to read them. I'm going to be uploading some 4K video as well that I'm shooting with the action camera as soon as this is all done. many people are here. It's incredible. Thank you for the comments, guys. I'm seeing a few of them come through when I glance over at the screen. I'm trying to keep it as steady as I can. This is affecting so many more people than they're saying it is. It's affected nurses, and now it's affecting teachers. And there's people still masking up. I don't know what's going on. Why is it blurry? It's gone blurry. Ah, there we go. That it. Sorry, this is the first time I'm live streaming, so bear with me, guys. A little bit of a learning curve. Just to touch the screen. Hopefully that wasn't blurry for too long. Yeah, this is live on YouTube.
Police officers have denied to take this heart.
Yeah, they're heartless. They're heartless people. They are.
Absolutely.
Keeping SA safe. See, this is their logo. This is their slogan. They've actually changed the official slogan on their website. It's keeping communities safer now. Because they know they can't do anything. They can't do anything right. Crime is still all over the place. They're calling us criminals. congestion here. Look at that construction they got going. Yeah.
My body, my choice. My body, my choice. My body, my choice. Your body, your choice. My body, my choice. Your body, your choice. My body, my choice. Your body, your choice. You think that taxi minute up your ass? You think that taxi minute up your ass? You think that taxi minute? Think that taxi minute? Think that taxi minute?
Thanks once again to all watching. Please send me a like. Wow, did you hear that? Are they really anti-maskers, anti-vaxxers? You better believe it. Many more where this is coming from. There's all an agenda behind it, all of it.
Everybody say hello to the quarantine people!
Look at that. Those are the people up in quarantine. Look at that. See that right there? That's the quarantine hotel here. Look at them, they're all waving to us. You see that?
Black Stephen Marshall! Black Stephen Marshall!
Who's making all the money for all the people staying there? We're all still waving. Try and pull back a little. Probably a mainstream photographer right here, making some dough. Film the police. Get back into this. What am I doing walking away from the crowd? This is the start. See how many people are here. Kill the bill! Kill the bill! It's live streaming, yeah. So, yeah, on YouTube. So you'll be able to view this. This is it. No worries. Thank you for that. I can't do a. I can't because I'm.
This man, we'll get this man to do it. Can you take a photo of us? Just on my phone. Yeah, you can do that. Thank you. We're just going to send it to the kids.
We're going to send it to
The kids.
Both my hands are occupied. I got this thing right here.
Hey, beautiful. That's everybody. Everyone's beautiful. Keep coming into the park. We have some important things to update you on, if I can find the key people to do it. Stuart Lindsay would be one of them. That man is working so hard, along with a lot of the Adelaide Freedom Rally team, to get this judicial review up and running. I'd like to thank everybody who's come along and donated for that cause. It is progressing. Stuart will be giving an update shortly, I hope. We are missing if you volunteered to take a bucket around, could you please bring it back up the front? Thank you. Not take off to the Bahamas. Yeah, she said it. All right, we are fabulous. Have a look at that march. People beeping and cheering a song, and that was brilliant, wasn't it? All right, now this beautiful warrior woman next to me, Mary Laslet, she's written tunes. She's been singing at our rallies all along. She's always here for us, and she's a beautiful human being with a loud voice. Over to you, Mary.
Thank you. I'm just going to sing a little bit of a song as people come in, and then I'm going to sing the important one. There's a calling in the east, and there's a calling in the west. We're calling to our hearts now to do the very best. Calling in the north and a calling in the south. Calling for change, cause the truth is coming out, cause we're awake now. Don't you feel it coming? We're awake now. Can you hear the hum? And we're awake now. Everything is gonna be fine. Don't you feel it? Don't you feel it inside? We're awake now. Can you hear the drum? And we're awake now. Can you hear the drum? And we're awake now. And our hearts are pumping. Everything is coming alive. Don't you feel it? Don't you feel it inside? Wrap our hearts around the world, for the time has come to free humanity from the tyranny with the power of one. Looking through the light, geometric insight, living with the land, we begin to understand. Sound is coming through, feel divinity in you. Everyone you meet then changes at our feet. Don't you feel it? Don't you feel it? We're gonna wrap our hearts around the world, for the time has come to free humanity from the tyranny with the power of one. Cause we're awake now. Don't you feel it coming? We're awake now. Can you hear the drum? And we're awake now. To the power of love, and everything's gonna be fine. Don't you feel it? Don't you feel it inside? Oh, we're awake. Don't you feel it coming? We're awake. To the power of love, and we're awake. Share the love, and everything is gonna be fine. Don't you feel it? Don't you feel it inside? Cause we're awake. That's why we're here. Because we woke up and went, nah, no thanks, we're not doing this. We really have to turn away from all the bombardment of information that is driving us to stress and fear, and stand in the future that we want, visualize the future that we want, regardless of what is bombarded against us, because we are on the rise.
What about the state leader in the culture?
Darkness been hidden, it's there in plain sight for us all to see. It's just too painful, so they turn away, they don't wanna believe. Day after day, children go missing this way. And we're constantly distracted by the headlines of fear that enslave our minds. We separate and divide us with screens to traumatize us and spells that bind. Who is pulling the strings? It's a prison we're living in. Excuse me, I'm going to start it again. Better to start and get it right. Stop and get it right. Is this...
Perfectionist.
I've just tuned my guitar to 432 hertz for anybody who understands what that means. Thank you. So that meant I needed my capo to just bring my voice up a bit. All right. Darkness is hidden, it's there in plain sight for us all to see. And it's just too painful, so they turn away, they don't wanna believe. Day after day, children go missing this way. Constantly distracted by the headlines of fear that enslave our minds. They separate and divide us with screens to traumatize us and spells that bind. Who is pulling the strings? Is it a prison we're living in? Please join in the chorus. That's all it is. We're on the rise. I'm going to do it 2 more times. We're on the rise. I can hear. We're on the rise. See through the illusion, the confusions we rise. From inverted situations, of corrupt situations we rise. We're on the rise. We're on the rise. Now this dark agenda is losing its power and grappling to start. Millions of ways to keep us downtrodden and close our hearts. Though it may not look this way, we're here for a brand new day, yeah, a brand new day. We're on the rise. Acknowledge all levels, but choose to access divine. On the mountains of fear, on the wings of the eagle we rise. With our conscious connections and united intentions we rise. Oh yeah, we're on the rise. We're on the rise. Oh no. we rise. We're on the rise. As deep inside us is a divine code that we all can find. Magnetic projection for our own protection to override the dawn that we can see. It's time for us to be free. We're on the rise. Don't you feel it? Don't you feel it? Over mountains of fear, on the wings of the eagle we rise. We are the ones with the right for all of this time. Standing sovereign, our power, yeah, we do find. Yeah, oh, we're on the rise. For life now awaits us, defines and creates us to rise, so we can thrive, thrive, don't you feel it? Right, here we go. Okay, thank you. That didn't quite work, but never mind.
Thank you, beautiful. There's a few people asking about the petition. They're still collecting signatures over here to whatever side of me that is. I give up. But that tree over there, okay? There's a table, and these are the two legal firms in South Australia working very hard to support people with a petition to end the state of emergency. So, I was told earlier, as people still trickle back into the park, you'll probably see this spread around. Just a couple of pieces of information. Austria overnight has just mandated the vaccine for the entire population. So, I mean, I don't know about you, but I'm not even hearing about a virus anymore in the news reports. It's just about vaccine coverage and the next people that we're reaching and the next restriction that we're imposing. So, what a crock of. Somebody else told me just now that they can't actually get an appointment in at their GPs. They won't allow anyone in for a medical appointment unless they're double jabbed.
No, it's okay. No worries. Yeah, no, it's
This is
fine.
unprecedented. Now, Tim Dwyer is coming up to have a word. Tim is actually taking off after the rally today and heading to Port Lincoln, because Lincoln are rallying tomorrow. So if you know anyone in Port Lincoln, they've got a great group there. They're organising an amazing event, and we'll have a look. They've snared Tim Dwyer to come and speak for them. Go you, Tim.
Hey, everybody. Hello, everybody.
Hello.
God, I thought I was talking to the sleeping wounded. All right. Hey, what a wonderful, wonderful day that we have all had. This is a small sample of what's to come. You are only a small remnant of what's to come in this state. Do I have anybody out there who loves freedom? Do I have anybody out there who's going to vote for Stephen Marshall next year? We got anybody who's going to vote Liberal next year? Nastiness. There are real evidence around the country that we live in a vacuum of honesty and leadership within the political elites of this country. There is no leadership, there is no honesty, there is graft, corruption, and they are murdering people under state-sanctioned medications. You know that.
Take my seat.
It is genocide. It is communism on steroids.
Totally.
It's all well and good for me to stand up here, but I'm not the story, you're the story. You. You're the story in your family, you're the story in your school, you're the story in your business. You're the story that's going to bring this place to freedom. It's the words you say, the seeds you sow. You've all heard have you heard the story about the butterfly effect? You know the butterfly effect? No? Let me tell you a little bit about the butterfly effect. Butterfly effect is, the theory is that a butterfly can flap its wings here in Adelaide, and because of the disturbance of the molecular structure of the air here, it interacts with the next bit, and on the other side of the world it could create a cyclone. The butterfly effect. You sit there and you go out and you talk your truth, you tell the truth, you show them the science, and they look at you like a tree full of blind owls, like, who? What? Right? And you get discouraged. The butterfly effect is having its effect. Every word you say, every defiant act you pull, gives somebody else the permission to do the same, and that will ripple and ripple and ripple, and you can see the ripple here today, and you're part of the ripple, and we're going to ripple again next weekend. We are going to bring the ripple effect, and it's going to rise like a flood. It's going to rise like a flood. Ladies and gentlemen, we've had Christian prayer here today. I've spoken to a Muslim family here today. I've spoken to atheists here today. I've spoken to many, many people of various faiths and no faiths whatsoever. But I want to tell you a story. We all need hope. We all need inner strength. Up there on the corner where we assembled is the monument to the Light Horse Brigade, the charge of the Light Horse. That happened at the end of October over 100 years ago in the Middle East. In the First World War, the Australian 800 light horsemen, they had one charge left in them. The horses were dying. They were dying of thirst. They had to take the wells at Bathsheba. They had no choice. They either storm the wells or they die. Between where they were and the wells of Bathsheba, they were outnumbered 10-1 by the Turks, who had machine guns and cannons, and 800 Australian soldiers, real men, not the vanilla slice we see in the army today, real men. What they did was they decided they would charge under their own leadership, not British leadership. So the commanding officer of the Light Horse Brigade gathered his 800 men and they knelt in prayer. Now, let me explain where we're coming to here. I'll get to it in a minute. They knelt in prayer for protection against unsurmountable odds. They got on their horses and they charged. And the first round of cannon fire went off, and the instruction was lay low on the neck of your horse and charge. They laid low on the neck of the horse and they charged, and they overrun the wells of Bathsheba. They overrun the Turks. The Turks dropped their guns. They ran. They dropped their guns and ran. And when they were interrogating the Turks later on, they asked them, why did you surrender? Why did you drop your guns and run? And listen to this, please listen to this. this is important. The Turks said, we had never seen such a gigantic army tearing at the front. We had never seen so many huge men to the left and to the right. We saw the spiritual army of God, and we could not stand in front of it. We had to run. Ladies and gentlemen, the historical fact of that is that the scriptures says, whoever frees my land, I will bless their land indeed. And this land has been blessed indeed until we have fallen for the satanic shit heaps that are now in power. Ladies and gentlemen, you are South Australia's 800. You are the Light Horse Brigade. You are the ones leading the charge. But we have to have faith. We have to have faith, because if we have faith in our conviction that what is right and what is wrong, if we move in faith, with belief, with courage, with character, there is not a government that can stand between you and your righteous freedom. Regardless of your belief or lack thereof, know that you were picked. You were born for this time in history. You may be uncomfortable, but you were born for this time in history. This time in history is yours. It's yours to claim. It's yours for the victory. It's yours for the taking. But if you stay silent and complacent, nothing will change except it will get worse. Stand up in your conviction. Stand up in your truth. Stand up. Do not fall down. Do not grow faint. Do not collapse. You will see 1,000 fall at your left. You'll see 10,000 fall at your right. But do not grow weary, because you will win and you will be free. I'm going to finish up with this because other people have got to speak. When Sir Edmund Hillary decided to go and climb Mount Everest, they got wiped out in their first expedition. Lost men, lost equipment. They came back to London, they reassembled again, got more men, more equipment, went back, got wiped out again. But the third time, Sir Edmund Hillary standing there, there's a massive big picture of Mount Everest behind him. And our Mount Everest is the government. Our Mount Everest is the media. And so Sir Edmund Hillary turned his back on the crowd and he said, Mount Everest, government, media, we came at you once and you wiped us out. You took our men and you took our equipment. Mount Everest, we came at you the second time. Better men, better equipment, and you wiped us out again. But Mount Everest, we are well equipped. We have a strong heart. We have better equipment. We have more men. And Mount Everest, you can't get any bigger, but we can. We can. Let's get bigger. Let's do it again. Thanks, Kathy.
Thank you, wonderful man. Now, everybody comes up to me behind the scenes thinking that I'm somehow able to manage multiple conversations all at once. But some things do sink in. Firstly, I want to share that Reignite Democracy has said there are 200,000 people on the streets of Melbourne right now. Victoria, next, somebody personally counted every head of every individual here today in Adelaide. And he's just told me there's 15,000 people here. We don't have a tyrant called Dan Andrews, we have an idiot called Stephen Marshall. How good that he's being exposed how good that his government is disintegrating. Yay! Don't you dare stand up there and tell me my own daughter can't come home for Christmas without 2 jabs. You picked the wrong person, Stephen Marshall. I'm coming for you. We're all coming for you. All right. Hands up if you're a nurse here today. Anybody? There's a few hands going up. Hands up if you're a teacher. More hands. Okay, we can see the policeman. I have a teacher now. Now this is Alex Goodwin. Alex was going to speak up front, but he's just appeared. He too sent through some very powerful words to me, which I feel should be shared. So Alex, come on up.
I don't know. I can't.
I have a bit of a confession. I don't really want to be here today, but I have to. I can't see my union. I can't see my government. I can barely see my peers. If you're a teacher here today, thank you for being here today. Thank you. It's official. Teaching staff must now be vaccinated by December 10th to continue their employment with the Department for Education. Since COVID-19 was declared a pandemic in March last year, I have witnessed and experienced health advice and directives from our Chief Public Health Officer and our Prime Minister that ran completely in opposition to the general public health advice.
There is no virus.
Children could no longer visit the trampoline venue, Scott Morrison said, as they continue to play on school playgrounds. Don't visit your vulnerable grandparents, he said, despite these same kids being taught by teaching staff, many of whom are grandparents. Even now, masks are not a requirement across school sites, and yet to cross the street to go to the local chicken and chip shop, we must mask up. How does any of this make sense?
We don't need to wear a mask.
I'm vaccinated. It was the right choice for me. And it's the right choice for many Australians. But I respect your right not to. Coercion is not consent. While we teach in sex ed that coercion is not consent, we as a society are happy to support coercing hundreds of thousands of our fellow citizens into making medical decisions about their healthcare and their bodies that they otherwise wouldn't. This is not okay.
My body, my choice!
Now, obviously, vaccine mandates is not the same thing, but both are examples of violations of our bodily autonomy and our bodily integrity. This week, Hilary Duff was in the news for piercing her 7-month-old daughter's ears. The public outrage that followed was predicated on this very principle. The right to informed consent and to withdraw consent are fundamental, immutable ethical principles, aren't they? What's happening now is unethical and unscientific. In South Australia, people aged 16 and over who have taken their first dose is 85%, while those who have had their second dose is 74%. I have seen many studies that show that for herd immunity, it's anywhere between 66 to 85%. We've reached our targets. There is no need for mandates. Pfizer is around 92% effective at stopping people from developing a high viral load 14 days after the second dose. But the vaccine's effectiveness falls to 90, 85, and then 78% after 30, 60, and 90 days. So even if we hit 90% vaccination targets, by day 90, we're talking about 70% efficacy rates. And that's by 90 days. Imagine by 120. Do we get boosters every 6 months just to keep our employment? And even then, what about our children? As of June this year, 4,169 children aged 19 and under have contracted the virus, accounting for 14% of cases across our country. For the most part, those children go to school. And so, like teachers, do children need to be vaccinated by mandate to attend school?
No.
Where does it stop? Booster passports and booster mandates? And for how long? Israel is preparing to have their 4th shot. And how many shots, how many mandates, how many lockdowns? How many masks in our waterways and our waste bins before we say enough? Where is the line? Here. Here's the line. This is the line. I spent most of my adult life immunosuppressed. Azathioprine, methotrexate, cyclosporin. Most of you won't know what those are. They are immunosuppressive drugs. I would never have expected anyone to be vaccinated against their will on my behalf, ever. Ever. Besides, Pfizer is not a live vaccine, and AstraZeneca contains a virus which cannot replicate or spread to other cells. There is no reason to expect any higher risk to those that are immunosuppressed. If I was immunosuppressed now, I still would have taken the vaccine because I see it as the right decision for me. Again, I respect your right not to. That's why I'm here today. In other unrelated news, Pfizer raised their full year sales forecast for its COVID-19 vaccine by 7.5%. $36 billion for a product that is A, mandated, and B, they have complete indemnity against liability for. And this is the same company. This is the same company that was fined $2.3 billion for illegal marketing, the largest healthcare fraud settlement in the US history. But sure, let's trust them. And the Morrison sports rorts government, or is it the car park rorts? I forget with all the rorting.
Not a vaccine anyway.
The 2021 federal budget estimates the cost of COVID at $311 billion. A Royal Adelaide hospital cost $2.44 billion. We could have built a COVID-specific hospital in every state and territory and staffed it for 10 years each. Ultimately, all of this is about mitigating risk. If everyone was vaccinated, there would still be risk. And when vaccines are demonstrably ineffective over time, and the vaccinated like myself can still contract and transmit the virus, is the cure really better than the metaphorical disease? I chose to have the vaccine, but I respect your right not to. Coercion is not now, nor has it ever been, consent. Thank you.
Thank you, Alex. Another short story about someone facing mandates or out of work by the 10th of December. You know, went for the jab possibly yesterday. And, you know, are you happy to give consent? No, I'm being coerced. Well, in that case, we're not giving you the jab. Oh, but I'm here now. I have to have it. So, what a mess. It's an absolute mess. We are gathering again next week. I've been asked to remind you outside Channel 7. We gotta make some noise. I mean, we all know the media are muzzled. They've always been muzzled. They've never been able to tell the truth or acknowledge vaccine harm. They're certainly not reporting the widespread damage happening right now. And they're certainly not reporting that there's zero COVID, there's not been COVID for basically 2021 in South Australia. So that is 12 noon again as part of the Millions March movement, and we'll be outside Channel 7, which is at the top of Port Road. Now, there are a few more speakers. I really appreciate everyone coming back to the park. You're amazing. There is a lot to get through. Paul is coming. Paul has got some actions to share. And he's brought a mate. What's your name? Ken? I'm going to hand over to Paul. Well done, Ken.
Hey guys, my name's Paul, and this is Ken.
Hey Ken!
Well done, Ken! I met Ken out on the march, and a friend of mine came up to me and showed me a picture of him with his sign. For any other veterans Put your hand up if you are. Here's another veteran. This is Jake Motley, and he said that very proudly. So, if there's any people who deserve to get up here and maybe have a say, it's these guys who fought for our freaking country.
We're proud of you, mate. Well done.
Ken the mic first.
Thanks, Paul. In fact, I'm not quite as tall as that bloke, so I had to lift the sign fairly high. Look, before we went on our stroll, a young lass came up to me and she said, what are those medals for? And I said, well, look, they're not all military, but each one has to do with freedom. Australians are very good at walking alongside and fighting alongside of others, such that somewhere down the track they might just enjoy some of the privileges we have here in Australia. What breaks my heart is the concern my wife and I have for our grandchildren and beyond, in that, hang on, here I am. I thought I'd hung up, well, I have hung up the guns, not even shoot a rabbit on the farm these days, but I've got to fight again. And why? Because of the insults which is being heaped on society by federal and state governments, and let's face it, the opposition's probably even worse.
Yeah,
and
they're all bad.
This is just so sad that people are coerced, you know, do the right thing. I beg your pardon.
Yeah.
When is a vaccine not a vaccine? Having served as my mate here as well for quite a few years, I'm well aware of the need for vaccines. A, to stop this silly clown here catching a certain disease, but of equal and probably more importance, to make sure I don't carry the flaming thing and pass it on. Not one of the concoctions being forced on us today does either of those things. Indeed, in letters to the Federal Health Minister and others, I will continue them. But indeed, during the week I thought, look, people are losing their lives because of the side effects of this rubbish.
Yep.
And you're probably more aware than I am of Pat Cash's dear mum's death and how he has described that. Without going overboard, I do think that those who have foisted this on us, it really comes very close to a manslaughter charge.
Murder!
So,
Murder!
but in the interim, my wife and I will be back in the vineyard in the Barossa. You can tell it's a red nose from, you can't see my purple feet from stamping the grapes. But we'll just praise the Lord and press on, and thank you for the privilege of sharing with you today.
All right, mate.
I'm one of the young veterans that served our country. I did Gulf War Part 2. I signed a blank check to say, do my bit for the country, sacrifice potentially my life, my mental health, my physical health, like everyone that joined the forces. And the word to me, sacrifice, means a lot right now. These medals that I wear is because of a sacrifice I made for the free spirit, the free Australia that I thought I grew up in the 80s and the 90s. And now as a father, I've got a 4-year-old son and a 6-year-old daughter going on 30. What freedom have they got? What was my service for? I want people to reflect on that. Our Constitution, what we all stood up for originally, that our forefathers. It's all good to hear that you've all got the same sentiment, and I'm so proud to be here today. This is the first time I've ever protested. I'm 40. I never thought I'd actually ever protest. A lot of people here probably are in the same boat as me, and I'm glad you all think about the sacrifice and acknowledge what we've all done.
We're proud of you, mate.
That's
well
it.
done.
And just stand the line, people. Thank you very much.
Okay, I'm in education and also health, holistic health, so potentially a double whammy. But I got that email this week, I got that suggestion I have to give my status and everything like that. When I get a bit stressed, I lean on my rock and roll. I'm an 80s kid, I can't help it. I put some music on Tuesday night, and this is what was one of the songs I heard. Bear with me, so I'm going to go through a few seconds. Listen to the words. All right. Thank you for giving these Anzacs the time. But the Anzacs that post-colonisation, that fought for the freedoms of this country, who are past, are rolling in their graves. The elders of past, who had every reason to be restless when colonisation come, are even more restless now. So please think of them. So I'm up here today because I've been working with these fantastic people, catching up with teachers, and there's some horrific stories and things going on. So I just wanted to get out because it's been great. It's been great convoyeur moments, getting out here with the crowds and that, and it's soul soothing. It soothes your heart, and but you walk away, and now that we're in a position in the education system, you're worried about solutions. So I got some ideas for solutions. So I'm just scrolling through. Let me find them. I've got them all here. So first and foremost, my name's Paul, by the way, if I didn't mention. Thank you. Hello. I'm a husband. I'm a proud husband. I'm a father. I'm a son. But I'm a protector, first and foremost, for my family. And that's part of the reason why I get up here, because of that. Because we need to stick together and protect our future generations. I'm also a bro, I'm a brass, I'm a brother with a TH, I'm a broski, that's the Polack side of me. I'm an uncle, I'm a cousin, I'm a friend. And we got to stick together. Okay. Absolutely, brother. This is about pro-choice more than anything. We know that. We don't need to talk about vaxxed and unvaxxed. We can't let them separate and divide that and divide us. It's about pro-choice. Stick to that rhetoric and that language.
Yeah.
Excuse me. Health, please. If you guys engage Mother Nature's health or medicine, clean water, clean food, sunshine, activity and exercise. Even if you have a vaccine, your body will be better prepared to deal with it. Please look after your health. Please. Our money. Think about our money. Everybody here's got superannuation, right? Yeah. You got Netflix, you got Foxtel, you got insurance policies, you got a bank account, you pay tax. Guess where all that money goes? I'm no financial expert, but I can read. to the treasonous grubs that are doing and controlling the agenda narrative, what's happening to us now. So maybe think about where you put your money. Imagine if the world stopped paying their super taxes, all that stuff, for 2 months. They would lose billions and they would come grovelling back and they'd say, how can we help you? So think about where our money's going. Guys, are we all aware where the digital ID progression is at? Stage 3. Stage 4 is the last stage. Do we want that? No. So get on the government websites and protest through letters and all that sort of stuff. But we need to just be together on that, keep doing that. I'm trying to think of things we can do. Now, unfortunately, there's a lot of businesses we are friends. I have lovely relationships with the people in my school, but they're being forced, they're scared, like us, but they've been forced to make decisions that I don't think they want to do. And I've talked to business owners who are shitting themselves. How am I going to live with myself, Paul, if one of my staff gets sick or dies? How am I going to live with myself? They need support too. So we've got to not keep thinking that they're the enemy. We need to support them. So unfortunately, until then, maybe, I'm making a suggestion that we boycott every business that's mandating vaccines. If you got tickets to some damn concert you've been waiting for 2 years and it's coming to the Ent Centre, sell your tickets. Don't go. Don't even sell your tickets. Put them in the bin, and if I can give you some money towards it, I will. But we've got to boycott every business, unfortunately. The stores that are mandating their staff to be vaccinated. Because in schools, if they're going to do it with us teachers, they're going to do it to the kids next. We've got to stop the sectors getting compromised like this. Stand your ground, support each other, stand in your power. Language that we've all been using. Get together, support each other. Make the uncomfortable conversation with your colleagues who have been vaxxed a good conversation, and actually tell them, because it's a fool's fallacy if they think this shit is over with 2 vaccines. Their liberties are in trouble, their freedoms and rights are in trouble as well. Make that an open conversation. I'm making a suggestion that all sectors, possibly in a coordinated effort, go with their friends and their families to their schools, their hospitals, whatever sector it is, entertainment centre staff, security staff, whatever, and the unvaccinated guys rock up at work and ask their mates who are vaccinated inside, getting paid, to come out and stand with them. We need to stand together, guys, because if we don't, we're in trouble. Okay. Politicians, I really respect and appreciate Alex coming in. And I'll finish in a minute, Kathy, I promise. Because I met Alex actually at a chat with about 100 people, and I told him I don't trust him because he's a politician, and everybody applauded, and I said, oh, well guys, let's give him a break, because he grew up in our streets. He's a neighbour, he's a brother, he's a father, like us. We've got to be careful how much we treat them as the enemy. So what I understand is he is pro-choice. That's a good thing, and fortunately, we need politicians on our side. But what I keep doing, I've been contacting politicians, I've had other conversations with politicians. Peter Malakis' office has rung me twice, and I keep asking them, who's bending our government over a barrel? No one. This isn't Australia, this is coming from somewhere else, and someone's presented a PowerPoint presentation or something at who knows where, and presented them that this is the only thing they can do, and if you don't, we're going to sanction you economically, that you're going to be financially ruined, and we're going to take over your country. Who knows what it is? What happens when the West, us and our allies, challenge the East and the Eastern blocs? Right? Some of these countries have got nuclear weapons. You notice America have never gone after a country with nuclear weapons? I'm just about done. They went after one, they said there was weapons of mass destruction. There was none there, and they knew that, but they knew there was lots of oil. So, when these countries feel a little bit of pressure from the West, they get down their big square with their million soldiers, with their nukes on the back of trucks, and they look at the West and they go, fuck you! Now, here's what we need to do. I'm going to get together with, I don't know, State Theatre Company and build some props and get all the tradies and the carpenters and the welders and the sheet metal guys, and we're going to make some props, and we're going to do around Australia in a joint effort, and we're going to have some fake nukes. They won't know, but maybe we need nukes. I hate weapons, I hate war, and we can turn back around, and all together we can say, fuck you!
Language warning. But I have neglected to mention the disability and mental health sector being affected as well. And we all know that this is this is dividing families. The language in the media is giving people license to judge people who make a choice not to take the experimental jab. And that, of course, is impacting everybody's mental health. Along with I think I said last rally, they've ramped it up to the point where they're actually blaming the pandemic, which we never had, on the unvaccinated. So, you know, I just want to share, there are people taking action against the media. We'll be sharing that through the week with you, and we will also be really pushing that in front of Channel 7 next week. Okay, so there is a strategy and an action coming to address the misinformation and the vilification in the media. Yeah. Now, I mentioned earlier, I have been doing this for a long time, so I've watched the media evolve to this point. Okay, it's not been pretty, but they have made it all right for people to use hate speech against people who make choices for their own bodily autonomy for good reason. So this is actually Grace, I'm trying to think of her last name, the Australian of the Year. This should have been her year to be up there addressing domestic violence across all sectors. But of course we can hardly see anything except the hate language in the media against people who don't sign up for their agenda. And obviously domestic violence has escalated throughout this whole period, has suicide. Mental health has been impacted and continues to be impacted. And people are grateful for this community, don't you worry. And you need to reach out if you need support, if you need connection, you need to reach out. You can email us at adelaidefreedomrally.com. Okay. There is another group that's going to have a quick, maybe Luke is a good time. Luke can share. There's another major organisation that is coming together as a support mechanism. This will be really quick. And then we've got just a couple more speakers. I'd like to thank you for your patience here today too. As I said, it could be a 3-day festival. Luke, just tell us about South Australian Information for Freedom.
Hello Adelaide! My name's Luke. I was a concerned parent having a child going to school wearing a mask. I started a group with another lady called Guardian South Australia on Facebook. Some of you may know it. The idea was concerned people coming together to create a community. It's very quickly grown out of control and we've heard the cries for help. We have now come together with a lot of people working in the background and have formed safe.cloud, SAIF.cloud. It is a community support network. This is your community, this is our community. It is now available to register. Join up, put your name. If you have something you can offer, please tell us what it is you can offer. There's selection boxes. If you are in need of help, we are hearing lots of cries for help. Reach out. There are people now waiting to offer that help to you. This is a safe community organisation formed by the people standing here now. Come together, create community with love and peace.
Thank you. I keep forgetting to mention that we have found a mobile phone and somebody else has lost a mobile phone, but the two are not one and the same phone. So we have an issue. So if you've found a phone, perhaps bring it over to the marquee, and if you've lost a phone, come over to the marquee. All right, now Stuart McFarlane has approached us to speak. He's written a magnificent speech and he's now going to share it.
Thanks, Kathy. Thanks very much. My name's Stuart McFarlane. I am an artist. I've been an artist all my life, but I've had to put the brush down because I just can't focus anymore. This stuff is way too important, and doing another painting is way too trivial. And so what I contacted politicians, I wrote to the paper, I did whatever I could. I even wrote to Macca, and recently Macca has called all you people hooligans. Yeah. However, I thought, okay, politicians not listening. I have to be a politician myself. So I just went through the transition. I'm a trans politician now, so and it's happening. It really is. It's something I never thought I'd have to do. But look, today there are thousands of South Australians here, and right across Australia there are hundreds of thousands of Australians getting together for this cause. And what will Scott Morrison say about that? He'll just vilify us. He'll ignore us. And what will the state premiers think about this? Well, they're just going to ignore us and vilify us too. But at the same time, Scott Morrison was called by globalist Prince Charles to the Glasgow Climate Change Summit last month. And he just hopped on a plane after he said he would not go. They just snapped their fingers and he jumped. What's the response of the state premiers across Australia? Dan Andrews will get even more police. He'll hire more police, 22,000 police in Victoria, and then he's going to get even more extreme totalitarian laws to lock people down. He will call us conspiracy theorists.
By the UN.
Stephen Marshall, he's going to keep us in masks forever. He's going to patronize us. He's not sitting down with Grant Stevens or the Chief Health Officer, Nicole Spurrier, to decide what's best for South Australians, because he couldn't care less. He is just listening to Scott Morrison, who's taking his orders from Pfizer, from China, and from the globalists. Scott Morrison is not working for us. Stephen Marshall is not working for us. They are not listening to us. They will ignore this today.
Yeah, we get Ricardo in as Prime Minister.
So, there's got to be, what happens now? They're also going to follow the Doherty Institute, which has been funded by China, millions of dollars last year. Most Australians are not awake still. 90% have been vaccinated. They're not awake. We all have family members, brothers, sisters, children. They just don't know what we're talking about. They look at us with a blank look. They think we're insane, but we're not. There are at least 3 million Australians who know what's going on, and that's enough. We can see through the curtain of lies. This is an opportunity to expose the tyrants. In exactly 4 months, we're having South Australian state elections. Exactly 4 months, that's March the 19th. Okay, so that's a time when we can actually do something, because we can get together, but they will just close their eyes. They will call us crazy. But at the ballot box, they are going to get a damn big shock. Okay, but we've got to be clear, who's going to do something? Well, the Greens are not going to do anything. This is their paradise. Lock us down, control us. That's the truth, I'm afraid to say that. Labor's not going to do anything. Labor is with the Greens and, unfortunately, with the Liberal Party, who have been bought and sold by Pfizer and China. They'll keep us in masks under mandates, using QR codes forever. That's what they want. They just take their orders from the globalists.
Let's get the Freemasons out of politics.
I hear you. I search for a party that might actually work. I know there's some small parties, but they're not running candidates. They are not running candidates. But I had to look around. I've never joined a party in my life before. I've backed up certain parties when I could. But I finally discovered that there's one person. Pauline Hanson is remaining defiantly unvaxxed. She is defiant. She will not get vaxxed. She's put a bill before Parliament to stop mandate discrimination. She is actually working for this. She stood with the truckers when they decided to stop and block the borders. And then she said she would pay their fine. So that, to me, that's a really, really good start. I can't find anybody else to stand with at the moment. And she is running several candidates for the first time in South Australia. And so we actually can get a voice. Now, so what I want to do, because I'm a brand new at this, but I need to hear back from you. I want to actually hear, I want to come and meet anybody who has family members who have been injured by the vaccines, and I want to come to their house and I want to actually record it. I want to get their names. I want anybody who knows people. Thank you. Thank you. I actually want to come and meet all these people and give them a face. I want to meet people who know people who have died. I want to meet people who have lost their jobs, who are desperate, people who are suicided. Contact me through the One Nation website, Stuart McFarlane, and I will come and I will document and I'll give you a platform and we will beat the Liberals in the next election.
Thanks, Stuart. Speaking of Stuart, Stuart Lindsay has actually departed. So we'll be sharing a video update on the judicial review. The first stage has been completed. It's come back very, very favourably in favour of challenging the overreach with the state of emergency. So I think that's a good outcome. We've certainly achieved most of the fundraising, I would say, at this point, but we will update on all aspects of that via Adelaide Freedom Rally email list. So subscribe at adelaidefreedomrally.com. Pardon? Oh, we've got 100k and loads of donations today. So standing next to me is Jamie. Many of you will know Jamie from Adelaide Rises, and he's organised a family fun day for tomorrow. I've asked him to just share some details with you.
Thanks, Kelly. Hi guys. So it's 11:30 at Thornton Park tomorrow. There's going to be jumping castles, face painting. So bring your kids, bring your family. Got a barbecue on, and we're going to have drinks, ice creams for families. Yeah, thanks for everyone for turning up. Appreciate it today. It's really great. I'll see you tomorrow.
So Thornton Park's a beautiful location. We do have Adam Richards here from Old Port Chambers, and again, this is a name that should be familiar to many of you. I know it certainly comes up every 3 to 5 seconds in our world. So Adam, we appreciate all your hard work. Please share.
Okay, so I want to take you back about 6 months. Around about 6 months ago, I was sitting at my desk and I booked with my doctor for my vaccine. And I started to ask the question, what am I going to do about my kids? Because I'd heard that it wasn't such a good idea for kids. And I thought I'd better do my due diligence. And I started to look into it. And the more I looked into it, the more uncomfortable I became. And then the more I looked into it, even more uncomfortable. And at one point I decided I wasn't going to get vaccinated, and by God, they weren't getting their hands on my kids. And I got to confess to you, I was pretty gutless. I laid really low. My wife was out posting and protesting and that, because she's got a lot more courage and a lot more ticker than I got. But I sat back, kept quiet, because in my profession, it doesn't do that. You stick your head up above the parapet. And at one point, I actually had to ask my client, I was looking in the mirror one morning, and I'm shaving, and I'm looking at myself going, this battle, there's no one in my profession that I could see. I saw people interstate, but here in South Australia, there was no one sticking their hand up, except for Stuart Lindsay and his crew, and by God, you guys should get behind them. 100%. They are heroes. And the money they're trying to raise, some people go to me 150 grand, oh, that's a bit rich. You want to know something? Interstate, 150 grand to get your team of lawyers for about 5 days. Those guys will be putting in an enormous amount of work. And in terms of our profession, I always like to say to people, at law school we get a special class in how to eat people alive from the wallet up. The bottom line is that the money they're asking, I think they're up to about 95 grand, Stuart told me today, that's a pittance in that game. But I had to ask myself, what was I going to do? I'm looking in the mirror and I'm just going, what the hell are you doing staying silent? So I got on my Facebook, I put up a couple of posts, and I got myself blocked by a whole bunch of friends that I'd campaigned in the refugee campaigns that I was devoted to. And Anyone here been ostracised by family and friends? Stick your hand up. Yeah, we all know that feeling, don't we? So I'm asking myself the question, and I started to put it out there, and then I started to think, what can I do? As the mandate came closer, and I'm looking at what's about to be done to the nurses and the doctors and the administrative staff who saved my life 5 years ago, I had to ask myself the question about where my balls were. Anyway, at some point I decided I had to make this my fight. And I got to say, I'm a criminal lawyer by trade, but I've been learning industrial law real fast. And I say this to you, my fellow South Australians, there are a lot of lawyers who think the way I think. And there's a bunch of us in my team. My team of lawyers has 3 people in it who are fully vaccinated, but like me, they see the destruction of the civil rights of our community, the lawfare on civil rights, and they're not putting up with it. So I give this undertaking. Someone said to me, why are you doing this, Adam? And here's a little exercise I did last Sunday when I met with some people at my chambers. And the only works if people are prepared to be honest. So I'm asking a favour of you. What I'd ask is, if you actually know anyone who's died of COVID or has been made really sick by it, honest to God, stick your hand up. There must be a fair few here. Look around, folks. We see and we know this is a really serious illness because we are all victims of a germ warfare experiment gone wrong, right? And we are all of us scared. Those who are vaccinated and those who are unvaccinated, we are all in the same boat together. So we've seen how many people know people who have been harmed or killed by COVID. Now I want to ask another question, and again, be honest. How many people here know somebody who has either died from the vaccine or been injured by the vaccine? And if you've had more than one, you can stick up 2 hands. And that, ladies and gentlemen, is why I am fighting this thing. Because as we drove here today, my wife was on the phone with a dear friend, and that dear friend shared with her the death of her 17-year-old grandson on the 8th of November, who dropped dead 2 months after the vaccine. But of course, it wasn't caused by the vaccine. We know others. A 30-year-old friend of my son's died, but that wasn't caused by the vaccine. A 75-year-old bloke called Nelson, who partied me into the ground about 1.5 years ago, 6 months after the vaccine, a rare blood condition. Goodness. I get he's 75, but people are keeling over. Now maybe that's all an accident, I don't know. But the one thing I do know about is that when people no longer have the choice about whether to stick something in themselves that is potentially dangerous, something has gone very, very wrong.
Yeah, well said.
I know in the criminal law, if you stick something in someone without their consent, they call it rape. I will stand with my community. I don't know what difference I'll make. All I know is I'm going to fight. I've got kids. I've got no damn choice.
What a legend. What a legend. I know he is working twice as hard as any normal human being at the moment, and we're very thankful. Somebody else who's fighting hard and campaigning hard is Craig Bowyer. Did I say that right? You would have seen his face. He did a beautiful promo for us recently when the teacher mandates were announced. Craig's been creating networks everywhere. Please come up, Craig.
Thank you. It's worth waiting for. For those of you who weren't here two rallies ago, I've got a joke. You have to laugh. 2 rats were at the rat hotel. One rat says to the other, "Have you had your COVID jabs yet?" Said, "No, I'm waiting for the human trials." Yes. It's always funny. I love this other joke. Never gets old. Okay, I was almost still a teacher for 10 days. My wife and I have been teaching combined for 75 years. We, in 10 days' time, will no longer be earning $200,000 a year. And we feel very sad, but very, very good about our decision. Yes. We're actually all here, most of us, if we actually personally made that choice. The choice is actually about free will, but it's also about money. At the end of the day, the carrot and the stick, it's the money, the job, the security, that's the thing that people are falling to. And one of the things in our group, the lovely thing about the people involved in this movement, is that there's no judgment on anyone who has a vaccine. There are so many people who are waiting for the Covax and the various other vaccines because they're actually vaccines. So they're waiting for that, and the people in Freedom and all the other groups are quite honour that. And so one of the big things that I've been encouraging teachers in the last few weeks and days is don't judge anyone. They are doing what they think is the right thing for themselves and their family. Please don't. Okay, it's our choice, but we also have to let them have their choice. Because if we attack them, we are really falling for the same trick that we don't want to be treated by. So let us set the example. I've been looking at a little bit of Hitler lately, a bit of history. Quite like my history. And, you know, if you look at Hitler and Goering, there's no difference. The way Hitler slowly worked against, promised one thing and delivered another. Promise one thing, I'll take over Czechoslovakia. Promise another thing, I'll take Austria. Promise one thing, I'll take Poland. Breaking his pole, till they actually had a gutful. Till England had a gutful of it. That's enough is enough. Goering, the same thing. Dividing and conquering the minority groups in you know, the Jews, the gays, the gypsies, whatever, the religious radicals, slowly one at a time. Exactly the same thing happened. Let's go with the healthcare workers, let's go with the nurses, let's go with the police. Like I said yesterday, I'm so happy for the police that have been here that no one in South Australia was gang tackled from behind and ridden into the ground. Please thank the police. Okay. So a bit of practicality for those of you who have lost jobs in whatever your field, fire brigade, nurses, whatever you are. Don't resign. The main thing is don't resign. There are so many people in the background that are doing amazing things for law cases and trying to bring to justice certain people in the way they're being treated. As soon as that happens, there'll be a massive class action. All right. But you can't resign, otherwise they'll get you on a technicality. Hold your membership. Re-register. There's a template. There are lots of templates. Safe.cloud has a lot of that stuff. You need to get online. There's a lot of people doing a lot of work. If you're at school, you're a teacher or whatever you're doing, show a lot of decency to your students and your staff. Go out a winner. Do the Red Cross course. You might be teaching in a year's time. We don't know what's going to happen in a year's time, but do the courses. The school's probably paying for it anyway. Do it. Right? Keep your registration. Show some dignity. Make it the best 10 days you've ever had in your life, so you go out on the right angle. You want to go out in the right frame of mind. Now, very quickly, Signal. Those of you who've heard of Signal. We've set up some massive groups called, and the future is community. We've heard that a lot today. If we go away from today, and it was a great march, and yeah, it was really nice, we were part of something big. Apparently on the news app, what was it, Channel 9, apparently there were 4,000 people today. 2,000 people today. Yeah. And apparently some people weren't wearing masks either, you know. Yeah. And can I ask you to social distance, please? It's not good enough. All right, so this is what we're fighting. But this will change because we need to start working in community. So what we've set up is, in signal groups, we've set up North Freedom Action Alliance. North Freedom Action Alliance. We've set up South, East, West, Central, Hills, and Florio. I was setting up, but my phone was on the charger when I left. So what we're doing is setting up Freedom Action Alliance groups so that in Signal, so that you can meet and communicate with people, like-minded people, and we can start to have, like we're doing at the Maylands Church, food stalls, so that people who have lost their job, everyone puts some food in, and we actually start. We've heard a lot of stuff about, Joe Biden shouldn't have won the election, etc., etc. We have to now start getting practical about helping each other, doing the things that will get us over that hump. So we've got to feed each other. We've got to think about if we've got a granny flat. We've got to, what do we do with a spare caravan? All that stuff. We've got to start thinking about that now, guys, because the Vax app's coming in February. This isn't going. The boosters, as we've heard, it's not going away. This is not a dress rehearsal. As I said, we're actually in it, right? It's not coming, we're in it. All right, now I just want to finish off. Pray for marriages, support marriages. I'm hearing so much stuff about marriage. We must support each other and show tolerance of each other in marriages. And also, Hitler and Goering both committed suicide and were losers. So just remember that. Keep encouraging each other, and I want to just finish off by, can we all thank Kathy, who does so much for everyone. Thank you.
Thank you, Craig. Craig is doing an awful lot. I believe he's going to be busier than ever, don't you? This is massive, the people that have come together to form these support networks looking into the future. Just wanted to say, I did start my day with a chat with Sergeant Mark, who did inquire about mask wearing and social distance. I just said, we're normal human beings in a park, mate. I mean, he had to, he's obliged. He did say as he asked, he said, I already know the answer. So they know. It's like, oh, Kath, how many people are coming to the next, 500? Give me that. Just a few. We take a little bit of license. But yeah, look, normal human beings, individuals, we don't normally go up and start pashing strangers in a park, do we? Sorry. Now, Ben is going to have a quick word. Just a couple of minutes. And then I reckon Matt's coming up, he's got a guitar.
Ladies and gentlemen, the war rages. And it's in times like these that we discover the strongest and most formidable versions of ourselves. Because when we are faced with a real fight that we simply must win, we tap into deep reservoirs of energy that we never realised were there. We find courage and summon a type of inner warrior that transcends fear and embodies strength far beyond anything that we thought possible. And in the wake of this incredible transformation, our enemies are forced to take a step back and see that they have a fight on their hands that they did not anticipate and that they know they cannot win. And the once powerful and confident enemy starts to lose their composure as we begin to realise that in fact we can defeat them. And in a desperate attempt to reassert themselves, our opponents will push harder than ever before. They will scream louder and do anything they can to appear bigger and more powerful. They will show their moves. They will play their best cards. And they will use every trick they have left to convince us that we cannot defeat them. And while this might be intimidating at first, as they land their biggest and most forceful hits on us, we come to realise they don't quite hurt as much as we thought they would. And with every blow that we take, we realise more and more that we have less to fear and that it is time for us to turn the tables on them. For there comes a time in every moment, in every fight between good and evil, when the good decides that enough is enough and the evil realises that their time is over. We are going through this process right now. We are realising that sometimes we must fight and that we can fight. We are understanding that being good doesn't just mean that we do good things, but it also means that we know how to stand up when good needs to be defended. But we don't come to the fight easy, because deep down we know our true power. We know that the goodness and the love that makes us better than they are is ultimately expressed from a source of power so great that when summoned will completely destroy any opponent. Well, the time for this fight is now. Our long-time enemies are exposed and swinging wildly and playing all of their cards. And they only do this because they can see that the inner warrior of humanity has been awoken. And now, unfortunately for them, nothing can stop what is coming. Ladies and gentlemen, the tide has turned. Now, in this last chapter of an incredible story that will be told for generations to come, let the stress of the moment bring forth from within you that deep inner strength and power which has no rival. And eliminate your fear of this power by feeling the love that you have for your enemy. A desperate and disorientated enemy that over the next few weeks and months will be overwhelmed and destroyed.
I've just got Paul here for 30 seconds. He's in my ear going, I forgot to say blah, 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 and yeah, it's hollow between you now.
Sorry guys, I get a bit excited sometimes when I talk before. I just forgot one thing. So, we think it's a bit unfair that the workers have to... Workers have to go try and find all the documentation, legal stuff to try and present templates to employers. It's not really working. So if there's an employer or a company owner or a business owner out here, small, medium or large, you want some support. We're putting a consortium group of professionals together, legal advice, HR advice, medical, people who are creating a group that we can give you options that if you don't want to mandate your staff. Does that make sense? Yes? Information, we'll share details on the rally. Otherwise, I'm hanging around for a few more minutes. Come and see me out the back. I'll have a chat with you. Thank you.
Thank you, everybody. We'll see how we go. I don't know. Matt from Signs Down the Road is all plugged in. I hear rumours he did something yesterday that was some signs down the street, something maybe impressive, possibly. He's a bit of a larrikin, I think. Reminder petition over there. Reminder rally next week. Flyers over here. Badges over here.
Help me out with the song, eh? Here's the words up here. It's on the streets of Adelaide. There's a word going round, and the people are saying they've had enough of being pushed around, coerced and blackmailed, and they've been stood down. But in their hearts they know that something ain't right, and it's starting to show. So now the people are hitting the streets, attending marches and rallies. They're rising to their feet. They're doing their research, listening to the lies, and now they're standing proud. We are South Australians, and we ain't taking this laying down. And we're starting to see that this is less about health and more about control. So now the Aussie spirit's rising, and now we're saying no. Because the Aussie spirit is coming back, and we're standing high with pride. I say the Aussie spirit is coming back, and we've left our fears behind. I say the Aussie spirit is coming back within our hearts and in our souls. I said the Aussie spirit is coming back, and freedom is our goal. Come on, guys, because the Aussie spirit is coming back, and we're standing high with pride. I say the Aussie spirit is coming back, and we've left our fears behind. I say the Aussie spirit is coming back, and we've left our fears behold. Oh, the Aussie Spirit is coming back, and freedom is our goal. Because the streets of Adelaide, there's a word going round, and the people are saying they've had enough of being pushed around. Get worse than blood crown and the bits to it down. But in their hearts they know that something ain't right, and it's starting to show. So now the people are hitting the streets, attending marches and rallies, they're rising to their feet. They're doing their research, they're seeing through the lies, and now they're standing proud. Cause we are South Australians, and we are taking this land down. And we're starting to see that this is less about health and more about control. So now the Aussie spirit's rising, and now we're saying no. Here we go, guys. Because the Aussie spirit is coming back, and we're standing high with pride. I said the Aussie spirit is coming back, and we've left our fears behind. I said the Aussie spirit is coming back in our hearts and in our souls. I said the Aussie spirit is coming back, and freedom is our goal. Come on, go, because the Aussie spirit is coming back, and we've left our fears behind. Oh, because the Aussie spirit is coming back. Oh, here we are tonight. Oh, because the Aussie spirit is coming back in our hearts and in our souls. Because the Aussie spirit is coming back, and freedom is our goal. Yeah! We're looking for 200 members that want to sign up to our group over here. Signs down the street. We've got Rose, we've got Linda, we've got other Matt. If you guys have got 2 hours a fortnight to spare to help us hold signs on the side of the road, that's all you have to do. You don't have to do anything. We don't need money. We just need 2 hours a fortnight of your time. We're going to have a Telegram page rigged up, north, south, east and west. Please come over and give us your name, and we have a great time. It's a community spirit there, please. Thank you. Thank you. Great.
All right, Mary Laslett played us into the park, and Mary Laslett's going to close out the rally event today. Just want to say just a huge thank you to all the team that have been working so hard to get this rally happening, to get the judicial review over the line. All the many people, these guys here, we're going to hear from you next week about the media action. All the people who are reaching out, sharing their skills and supporting people. We love to hear from you, so please share away to Adelaide Freedom Rally. In turn, we try and keep up with all of the actions and the contacts, and we will do our best to share everything we can from today. Mel will be posting a video of the speeches of the march, and obviously connections and resources. So really important, this community. I'm loving that you're all wearing your badges. Wear a love heart because we're beautiful and we love each other. Bye.
What about Kathy, people? What a magnificent job she's done these last year or so and longer. Known her for 25 years. She's a powerhouse, and we thank her from our hearts, not with our screens, but from our hearts. Thank you. And that's the most powerful thing we have to offer, actually, is our hearts. I've got a song called Run Away to a Better Day, but we'll just sing one more, and this is called Commonality. May the common people stand the common ground, where the common decency that is found inside every commoner on earth. So with common sense, for the common good, we share the commonwealth like we know we could. It's common knowledge awakening today. So time is here, our power is now to be. Standing in the power of who we are. So time is here, our power is now. We're the warriors of light who travel by. Common law, we reclaim the facts and our illegal fictions that create the land. The common intentions will take our power back. What we have is a common goal. We're gonna heal the world, we're gonna make it whole. No more trauma for anyone on earth. Possible, it's possible. Our time is here, our power is now. Feel it rising inside. Standing in the silence of our hearts. Our time is here, our power is now. All drifting left us to the higher power. So with common consciousness that we share, we're gonna send it out to everyone out there. Reach a place of common unity. 'Cause there's nothing common about the human heart. Oh, it's a special gift for the brand new start. That's the power that starts us being apart. Our time is here, our power is now. Don't you feel it rising alongside? Standing in the silence of our hearts. Our time is here, our power is now. Shift and lift us to the higher ground. So let's keep going, people. We're rising up and they can't reach us anymore because we are above them in frequency and they are down below. Open your hearts, people. Send it into the space between us. Heal this great divide and then we have won this.
Thanks for watching, guys. I'll be uploading a 4K video from what I got on the action camera. Hit the like. Thanks a lot, guys.
Which way is your car heading?
Apparently it's over at Bunhouse.
Where?
So I'm actually going to go find my car. The jeep's gone.